What's up, Moose family? Jim Flanagan here. It's another edition of Moose Roundup. It's Sunday night again, fellas. And we're going to wrap things up here. End of week number 2 here in the Moose Hockey League. As you guys can see, I'm surrounded here by a couple members here of the Moose Hockey Road. I got Meet the Assassin, a.k.a. Zach Holt. Assassin, how you doing over there, man?
Pretty good. Just waiting to get my game coming in here for Sunday, and hopefully we can win this series and just keep on going strong. But it's going pretty good.
Awesome. There you go. Goaltender here. Another goaltender on here, Jason Blaze. Blaze, how the hell have you been, man?
Well, it's been a busy week. Took the Friday off, as you probably found out. There was no Flame fan on Friday.
Boo.
I had an early turkey supper there. I'm nice and fat today. Feel like jolly old Saint Nick. But tonight we got some serious business, and we're going to bring it to you. Jim?
Nice. Speaking about serious business, we got another guy here, newcomer, Shadow Demon, a guy that's been swapped around like crazy here this season. Demon, how the hell are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm getting ready to play the first series with my new team. Hopefully we get a nice win here.
Okay. New team. You got to get with the new schedule now. We'll get into that a bit later. First, I want to start things off here. We're going to go right into the AHL. And one team I'm looking at here for this week is Captain Funbags' team. And I'm talking about Lambda. Start things off here. Week 1, he went 7-1. Awesome start. This week, it's not so good, man. He's, just 500, 6-6. So he's 13-7 here on the season. He's leading his division there, but with the whole swap thing, Blaze, do you Funbags this move? What happened here, man? Was there some locker room issues? Was there some guys being swapped? Did he try to reform the championship team here from last season? I do see some guys like Nash on there, Scotty Main. Is this the right move here for Captain Funbags, or was week 1 a fluke, man? Is he now starting to play some of the top teams, man? What's going on here?
Yeah, again, it's too early to tell. We did finish week 2 there, and he did not do as high as week 1. I heard there was one locker room scrabble between Funbags and the defenseman, the Wallace there, but that still doesn't explain the fire sale he did. He pretty much hoarded off his team like a bunch of hookers and got whatever he got, except for Scotty Main. To be honest, that was his biggest pickup of the week.
Yeah, Scotty Main and I Am Nash, we're part of the championship team. Now, speaking about championships, Assassin, you've been a part of championship teams. Do you think Funbags here is trying to reform that championship team from last season, man? He's got some parts on here. Was it the right move, though?
Yeah, I could see. He probably thought in the situation that maybe he might try to get some players that he knows. Maybe there was some competition in the party between the players. Even though they were doing good, something might have happened. I think he's trying to do it, but I don't think it's going to be working out too well unless they can get everybody flown together fast and quick, because it seems like they're losing games and getting a lot of shots. Defense isn't playing very well. The mix of the forwards isn't really working too well. I think because of the 1 week that they didn't play together, I think it's going to have a little bit of difficulty getting back together with this whole team.
Yeah. And one of the main guys he lost on here was B. Kemba, man. A guy that's been in this league. I thought he done a phenomenal job here for Funbags this season. Week 1, Upshaw MVP was not there. This is the guy that was scoring the point for him, and it kind of cut down the offense, man. Here comes Scotty Main, and now he's got to work with this team that he's got here. I know he's played with Crazy Jigs before, but I don't know, man. I think maybe they got rid of a lot of good chemistry that they had, and might not be so good, man. It's hard to put a championship team back together, man, if you don't have all the parts, man. You take a look at the yeah, and you look at a team in the MHL like Drift King. I know you got Stealth Luca D, but he doesn't have all the parts that Disney had the season before, man. So, you could have some pieces, but you can't have that whole championship team here. And we'll see what happens with Funbags. Now, I also see Funbags, Blaze, you talk about emo in the locker room. I think there's a lot of emo going on this team as well, because I see Funbags on the forums posting a lot of garbage on there about the AHL, about guys being called up. What do you think about that? The whole post there by Captain Funbags, man. You know what I'm talking about.
I think it had a lot to to do with the rights trades that recently happened in the MHL, where two of Funbags' teammates there, they got traded to a weaker team, and there's a huge chance that those guys may get called up. So this team might actually get raped this upcoming week for its valuable roster members there for struggling, not performing well players. And Funbags is emo as fuck about it. A lot of other captains are getting emo about it. I know for one, Colinelli's got emo. Go ahead, Saucy.
So I said any captain would be that mad, especially with other players going around that quickly right before a big week too.
Yeah, like, for example, Colinelli just traded Agent Jack Bauer, for Chaos Samurai. And not even a week in. Chaos is already in the MHL, and yours truly, Shadow Demon here, he's now on Colinelli's team. Colinelli sure wasn't happy about it, but he built a bridge, and I think that's what Funbags needs to do. And that distinguishes a good captain from a failed captain.
Man. I think Demon's been on the MHL rights. Then he went to the MHL. Now he's going back to the AHL. I don't know what's going on here, man. It's just week after week 2, man. We still got a lot of hockey here for this season. But, Blaze, I know your point on there, what Funbags is making there with the MHL rights players. But here's the situation, man. If you look at the system put in place for the AHL, you got, as opposed to the seasons prior where teams, were affiliated with the AHL, if your MHL team stunk, man, let's say your MHL team was struggling, like Sober Enough's team this season, you knew a lot of you guys were going to be called up. You didn't know who you're going to lose that night. But that's gone with, man. These guys are not affiliated. When these AHL captains went into the draft, they knew exactly who were the MHL rights players, that they're going to play some games in the MHL. They knew the risk factor in drafting these guys. And that's why a lot of these MHL rights players ended up getting drafted late, man. So, I mean, knowing that, these guys are MHL rights, man. I mean, it's all fair game on here because when you come into the game, you know exactly who might be called up, man. It's not like a guessing game on here, You got a 9-man roster, too. Plus, on top of that, the AHL has the waiver system, man, where the MHL doesn't. So, I mean, I can't agree with Funbags' complaint on here. The only thing I got to say on here is, with the rights players and the guys in the MHL, all the guys in the MHL that sign up are 3-series players. Now, sometimes some of these guys don't show up 3 series, man. And should there be something put in place on that, man, where these guys sign up at 3 series guys, but only show up for like 1 or 2 series, man? I don't want to. I mean, if I have a MHL rights player, let's say I got Jason Blaze on my MHL rights player, and I need a goaltender, I'm not gonna put Fallen Warrior to play net, man. I'm gonna put Jason Blaze every time that I could, man. So, I mean, I don't think it's using the same guy every time. It's the guy that's being not there every time, man, and causing all this thing should maybe be dropped to the AHL or something, man. If he's not showing up for the 3
That's
series.
up to the captain.
So.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be dropped. They should be removed, period. They should become full-time waivers there because, again, it's like a contract. When you sign up for the Moose for that season, it's a contract stating you will be there for 3 series. If you break that contract, it doesn't matter anywhere, you will be held accountable. And this is exactly the instance here. If they don't show up regularly, I'm saying maybe 1 week where there are 2 series or 1 series, that should be fine. But if it's a constant issue, these guys should be removed and someone should be permanently called up. Give someone else a chance that will show up. And that also gives another waiver from the regular waiver list to step up in the AHL as well. That's a chain reaction.
Blaze, you talk about the contracts, but I think the contracts are being enforced, man. I see contracts enforced when a guy is like 1 or 2 series, he can't play more than that, man. But if it's the opposite, when a guy is 3 series and he's only showing up for 2 or 1, is there any penalty for this guy not showing up 3 series each time, man? I don't think there is it, man. I mean, the captain will just keep this guy and call up his MHL rights player, man. So what's the difference between a guy being honest, signing up in a league as a 2-3 series where he's automatically put in the MAHL, as opposed to a guy that signs up for 3 series but only shows up 2 times a night, man?
Well, like given that comfort zone.
Yeah, I think the captains in the MHL are a little bit more lenient when it comes to that. The AHL, they know that they have the option of the whole big waiver list that they can call up there. And, the AHL is so unpredictable with teams there that, if anything possibly could fuck up your chance of winning, they jump all over it. Also, most of the AHL captains are usually new, so they like to enforce the rules. And, majority of MHL captains are like, I've been here, I know what's going to happen, just ride it out and we'll win. The AHL captains are like, yeah, you don't want to show up? Then you're rule 1.
Rule number 1, man. You gotta love that rule. I mean, it's been here since day 1, right, Assassin? But, all right, man.
I agree to that, though. I mean, I get that Blazers thing.
Okay. Well, I think we're on the same page here. All right, we'll take a break here, man. We'll come back, man. More Moose Roundup here. Don't go away. All right, we're back here. More Moose Roundup. We talked about Lambda. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens here for week 3. But looking at the who's hot, who's not here in the AHL, let's go to who's not, man. Who's not looking so good? And I'm talking about veteran Colonelli, the captain there of Damage Inc., who are 3-8-1 right now, man. They only got 7 points, pretty much bottom of the barrel besides King 412's team, the Devil's Rejects, which I'm not even going to get into, man. But look at Damage Inc. on here. I mean, last couple games here, I mean, these guys had like a 6 or 7 game losing streak. They pulled 1 win against Two Line and Tweakers, but they're 3-1, man. I look at this team here, though, man. A lot of great players on this roster. I know he made a lot of moves, man. Does Colonelli still have time here this season to make it to the playoffs, man? Can this team turn it around, man? What do you think, Blaze?
It's going to be cutting it close, I think. The AHL is very competitive this year with all the influx of new players there. And not only are they new, but they're good, too. And, there's a huge threat all over the whole team there that some of the key components might actually be called up to the MHL sooner or later. With that on the minds there, with the new trades they did and, the pickup they got from the pickup and drop-off there, losing Chaos Samurai for Shadow Demon here, I think they could probably squeak into the last playoff spot and, upset the first place team there. Jim?
On here, I look at this team, I look at the roster, man. You mentioned Shadow Demon. I think this is a great pickup for Colony. Great switch up. You're talking about Phone Warrior. You got Colonelli. You got Shadow Demon now. You got yourself Blaze in that, man. I mean, one thing I noticed, though, looking at Damage Inc., the teams that they played so far, I mean, they played Raging Fornicators 5 games already, man. Up against them, they played Lambda. 2 top teams here in the AHL, man. And, they're 3-8-1, but I think a turn can happen here, especially with the new acquisition. Shadow Demon, what do you think here, man? What do you bring to the Damage Inc. here? And have you played with any of these guys here on this team, man?
Yeah, I played with Fallen Warrior for a while, since I started out with him in VHL. He's actually the one that got me in this league. First season MHL, he said he was going to draft me. Big lie. Well, whoop-de-doo. Right now, I'm hoping to help them a lot more because I want to bring some chemistry with it. Because this way, if I find chemistry with any other players like the defenders like Collinelli and Dana White, we could actually do some serious work using the points. And then Jordan, I myself have a nice slap shot that I like to utilize. So we have 3 people that have good slap shots. We have two, maybe 3 good passes. I don't know how Raven plays yet. Not to mention I do the back check. So I want to help them with that, even though I don't know how good they are. This is like experimental for me right now. I'm afraid.
Hey, you got Blaze in that, man. I don't think you got to worry about, right, Assassin, man? I mean, Blaze between the pipes. I don't care who's. But Shadow Demon on here. I mean, I thought you had a great so far here in the MHL actually season. You put up 27 points. You've been swapped around here and there, man. And hopefully this is the last stop here, man. I don't know if there'll be any more moves for you, but it's hard. Sometimes, I mean, it's hard to make that chemistry when you're being swapped around, traded around like this, man. But we'll see what happens if this is the answer here for Damage Inc. Because they need something, man. They need something right now, and hopefully this is it for Collinelli, man. And he doesn't got to make any more moves. Like I said, I like his moves. I like the trades. And I think it's only could look up from right now, man. Being 3-1, I don't think they could go any worse, man. But we'll see what week 3 holds. That's pretty much the not hot. What about the hot team here in the AHL? I'm talking about Cloudy Days, the Raging Fornicators, got like a 12-man roster. Assassin, what the hell is Cloudy Days doing here this season that's working for him, man? 15-2-1. This guy's dominating here, man. Is it the 12-man roster? Is it the people he's got on there? I don't think he's got to use any waivers, man. What do you think here, man?
Oh. He's got enough players just to make like a CHL team here, just for the hell of it.
I think we'll have like a scrimmage going here during the season, man.
2 teams who both play each other, but I think he just picked the right amount of players. That I mean, most of these players I've seen in his roster, like I've never heard of. Very new players going to the AHL. Nobody that's been on the draft pool very long. But I think the people that he picked, he did a great scouting them. All of them are just scoring goals, assisting. They're just flowing very well, great chemistry. So whatever Cloudy did in scouting or what he did on accident is working. So
okay, I know
even with a 12-man roster.
Go ahead.
Even with a 12-man roster, he's got like basically a backup team. So
yeah. I mean, some guys can't manage the huge roster. He's been doing it great here. I mean, he hasn't shown any bad effects here. I mean, I think he won like 8 in a row. I think he's in like an 8-game winning streak right now, man. And one guy that I like on this team, man, a newcomer in that, Squint, man. This guy is doing phenomenal here for Cloudy Days. He's got a lot of other great talents around him, man. Blaze, what do you think about the Raging Fornicators here, man, so far?
Yeah, when I talked to some captains about the scouting, a lot of them said he's the one that did the majority of the scouting. He did the best scouting of all of them. And the best part about his team is the majority of them are rookies. So he doesn't have to worry about the MHL poaching his team there. And, he found himself a great bunch of rookies there. He's rolling with it. And Squint, he's one hell of a catch.
Yeah. I mean, you got a huge roster like this.
The thing with the...
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm actually happy that a lot of new rookies are coming in, especially goalies. I'm seeing a lot more goalies normally, so we're actually getting a lot more help in that category.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to use backup forwards to put in net.
I agree, man. I agree. And this guy Squint got an 84.2 save percentage, man, and 1.68 goals against average. I mean, doing a phenomenal job, especially his first season here in the MHL and the MAHL. And Cloudy's got the huge roster. He's got a lot of new guys. Doesn't have to worry about much call-ups either. I don't think he's got much problems at all right now, sitting on 15-2-1. We'll see what happens here for week 3 for the Raging Fornicators. All right, we'll take a break here. Pretty much wraps it up for the AHL. Come back. We'll discuss some of the MHL teams and maybe some other topics. We'll be right back.
Sunday nights, it's Moose Roundup, the number one rated video show on MooseAndIce.com. Join us as we take a look at the week in the Moose Hockey League. Who's hot? Who's not? Also, the top players of the week, the top forward, top D-man, top goaltenders, as well as other topics and discussions. Every Sunday night, it's Moose Roundup.
That's creepy.
All right, we're back here, Moose Roundup, guys, heading to the MHL. Now, who's hot, who's not? Let's start off with who's not looking so good. And one team that I look on here after week number 2, it's got to be Taz. It's got to be relax and take notes, man. I don't think these guys got to relax here, man. I mean, week 1, they did relax. They only played one game. They were undefeated. We didn't see much. Well, now they're at 3-7, man. They dropped a lot of series. They got swept a lot of series. They swapped a lot of players, man.
They traded a lot.
I mean, what's going on here? We're relax and take notes, man. Who wants to take this, man?
I'll take it, guys.
All right, go, man.
Taz is taking advice from a freaking moron. He's taking advice from Goofy J, man. This guy's bald and he lives in his parents' house.
Hey, man.
He's
what about
23 and...
You live in your parents' house, though?
No.
This guy, he got booted out of the league for being an idiot, and now he's helping a captain out? I don't get this. This captain also himself is no angel. He loses one series. What's he do? He panics. He sends Shadow Demon down, and he picks up Chaos Samurai after one lost series. What's wrong with this captain?
And it's sad because we won
a captain who's made the playoffs once out of how many tries? It just flabbergasts me. I think he should think for himself, maybe get some advice. Maybe Juke Lanigan here can give him advice. Anybody, even the dumb pig could give him better advice than Goofy here. And I think that's what's wrong with this team.
I mean, they panicked. I mean, I know they lost to IR Fear's team, which is a great team here this season. But then they beat Jay Zamorsky, man. They took 2 out of 3 against Jay-Z. And, I think gave Jay-Z their first regulation loss. Then they get swept by JJ. He does all these moves, man. All these swaps. Assassin, what's going on here with Taz, man? First-time captain in the MHL too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm going to agree with Blaze a little bit. I think he's panicking a lot here with the losses. I think he's just seeing no chemistry sometimes in some of the games, so he's just freaking out, swapping players, trading Kuzi, trading other players because they can't score, trading goalies because they can't save pucks, and then he's going to get advisory help so he can get more players that he's going to trade away. So I don't know. I mean,
do you think he's done trading, man?
I think he's trying, but I think he might. I don't know. He probably will trade again. We're probably going to see something else.
I mean, the only guy on here I see is all juiced up and Lefty Clay, and besides that, everybody's been swapped around. Kuzi's not here, Siegel's not there, now even Shadow Demon's not there. I don't know. How do you work with chemistry something like this when you keep swapping guys? Demon, you played for this guy here for a couple games, man. What did you see here on Relax and Take Notes for your time there?
Well, when I was up there, we had good chemistry. We knew where we were gonna send the puck. I honestly don't know. It was like that one game we versed JJDM. They really knew what they were doing. They had the chemistry all locked down. They knew where everyone was going to be when they were passing it. They had good one-timers from Valcor. I just didn't know. It was hard.
You had a good team.
We had a
great players.
I mean, it's tough when you let go of your number 1 draft pick, man. I mean, when you play JJDM, you're expecting, it's going to be a tough series here. I mean, the guy is 12-4-2 for a reason, you know what I mean? And then maybe he pressed the panic button, man, too early. We don't know, man. And guys that are on that relax and take notes team, man, they don't know who's next, man. Shadow Demon, maybe.
Or it could be the other way.
I mean, Demon, are you glad that you're out of there? Or
maybe the players are asking for trades.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I had fun when I was playing with them because I knew the people. I knew I could play good with Wade, with Taz. Ice Cream. I knew them. I knew how they worked somewhat.
Okay.
It was fun, but I didn't. I don't know. Just when I'm coming down here, I know I'm safe. Hopefully, I don't get traded away. Cross my fingers.
Hey,
Guess I gotta talk to Cole
Safe
Nelly
zone.
about that one.
I remember the last Moose Roundup on here. Giant talked about Kuzi might get traded, and he did, man. So you never know, man. We'll see what happens. All right.
That was pretty funny.
All right, man. So, you know what I mean? The guys do watch the show. But, we'll be back. We'll get to the hot team here in the MHL. Who we think one of the hot teams here after week number 2. Be back for more Moose Roundup.
All shows are presented to you by the Moose Hockey League. www.mooseonice.com. Follow us on Twitter at Moose on Ice, a 6x6 hockey league for the Xbox 360.
All right, we're back here. Last installment here, Moose Roundup. And on the MHL, a lot of teams were hot here. I mean, JJ's team's still doing good. Jason Morsky's still on top. Even Timeless's team, he made moves there. He's doing fairly well. But one team that struck my eye here is IR Fear's first-time captain here in the MHL for the Les Tabernacles. If I pronounced that right there, Jason Blaze. He went 8-1 here this week, man. And they're at 11-5. Now for this team, it's tough, man, because he's got JJ and he's got the Duke in his division, where he's got to play these guys twice this season. So I think that makes it kind of tough here for IR Fear. But nonetheless, he's at 11-5. Now, Assassin, you played against these guys, the Les Tabernacles. What do you think about this team, man?
I think they're a well-rounded team. I think IR Fear is a great goalie. He's definitely going to become one of the best in this league, performing how he is this season. The game that we played with him, the first game kind of messed up. People dropped, and it was 1-0. Then we came back in, and they scored 1-0. And we played the rest of the two. He played great that period. We couldn't really get anything by him. I'm pretty sure we took a lot of shots on him. Also, second game, they won an OT. It was bound to either be I was going to get the shutout or he was going to get the shutout. So, but it came down to them scoring a goal. That was kind of a crazy goal, but everything happens like that in hockey. And the second one, again, overtime. I mean, but overall, all of those 3 games that we played them, their defense is pretty good. How long we've held the puck in their zone, taking shots, that they're holding it well.
Yeah, Definitely. And on that series, man, I mean, you talk about IR Fierce. I think he definitely stepped up, not just as captain, but in net, between the pipes. I know he's got BC Soft there on defense, part of the championship team last season with Chu Assassin. Now, this is a phenomenal series here. Two great goaltenders, two solid teams. It came down as a low-scoring game, two of them going to overtime. IR Fierce managed two shutout wins in the year, especially if you look at game number 2, which I believe NJ Ski has it recorded. If you ever saw IR Fierce play in that here in the Moose Hockey League, this is the game you want to see, man. In that game 2, this guy had 25 saves to manage that 1-0 shutout win. If you're going to put a guy that won the series, it's IR Fierce here, the captain, definitely stepping up. I know he's got guys like NJ Ski on this team, man, but IR Fierce is playing phenomenal. I think that is the reason why these guys went 8-1 this week and are 15-2 for 11-5 for the season here so far. Blaze, what do you think about the Lad Tabernacles, man?
Well, before the draft, I talked to iFears there, and we asked him if he was going to play forward or goalie this season. He says, Blaze, the only guy I trust in net is myself. He put himself in net there. Look at this guy. 3 shutouts, I believe, last week there. His defense is great. NJ Ski is handling the scoring for his team there, and they're winning. Kudos to IR Fierce. They're building a team around himself and then building his scores afterwards.
Yeah. That is crazy, man. I mean, he did put himself in that. You mentioned the 3 shutouts, which is huge. He even got one of the Sobe guys on his team, I think, on here as well. But this team is doing well. The only thing I got to look on here, like I mentioned, they're in a division where they got to play JJ and they got to play the Dukes team twice, man. And those are the 2 teams that beat them in week number 1, man. They didn't win the series against either of those teams. And might be difficult for IR Fierce to make the playoffs. They got to play them again. Other than that, man, I think Sobe IR Fierce doing phenomenal. Maybe we'll see 3 teams in one division make the playoffs here. And it might be this one. I think this is probably one of the most toughest divisions here so far in the MHL, man. Anything else you guys want to add before we sign out of here, man?
Well, with that division, getting to play those 2 teams twice, that's gonna actually help you a lot more. Playing good teams gets you better. If they can actually start beating those teams, then they're gonna start doing great things against bad teams.
Yeah. And it's hard to beat the same team twice, man, and especially 3 times if you make the playoffs. So, and it's great to know these guys, a team like JJ's team and the Duke, so they'll know what to expect when it comes to playoffs time should they make it to the playoffs. Great point you bring up out there, D-Man. So we'll see what happens here later for the. I think tonight they play against Beauty and the Bill. So we'll see what happens if IR Fierce can stay solid in net, man. So I don't know if he's taking any advice from Jason Blaze here, man. But whatever he's doing, man, it's working. So we'll see what happens. We have Jim Flanagan here, Shadow Demon, Meet the Assassin, and Jason Blaze. Good night, everybody. See you next week.
Oh, I want to flash my nipple in response to that Legion nipple flash.
Legion nipple flash without it, man.
Would that have like an afro on it?
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh man, we gotta censor that, man.
I hope nobody took a picture of that. I just hope
I'm
not.
still recording.
Yeah, it is
Oh
still
God.
recording.
There we go.